Welcome to Life and Style. I'm Lori Delisle, and it's fall, y'all. Fall, y'all. I love this time of year. There's a couple reasons why I love this time of year. Layering is a big part of my personal style, and that means cool weather is a must. Layering colors, layering patterns and prints, layering textures. So fall is great. Although living in California, well, you know, that means putting a flannel with shorts. But I'll take what I can get, right? The second part I like about fall is the great outdoors. Fall brings a new scent to the air. Everyone likes to go for walks in the fall. Spring is great, summer's great, but fall and winter, there's that crisp bite, and you just want to put on a cozy jacket and go for a walk. I seem to, anyhow, look down and around and look more in depth at what God has created, and I love it. So today, I'm going to take you on a little walk. We're going to maybe take the ladies with us, and we're going to explore, and then we're going to take all the things that we found on our little walk and put together a great fall winter arrangement. So come on, let's go. Now, I'm amazingly blessed to live where I live here in the Santa Cruz Mountains, but it doesn't matter where you live. You can go out on a walk in your neighborhood and find amazing things, gather amazing things to make a simple fall winter arrangement for your home. Just going out in the street, walking out in the street, you can collect leaves, cones, seed pods, sticks and branches, and gather them along with just some fresh greenery from shrubs in your yard and put together something really beautiful. Now don't go and steal things from your neighbor's yards or something from a national park. They won't be so happy with you unless you ask, of course. But just collecting things that's fallen into the street can really be something simple, and it's free. Little clusters, leaves. You can find all sizes, of course. Here's an acorn. And you can even, here is a piece of wood. That's very interesting, it has great texture. Really interesting sticks. And then keep in mind, there's a really cool piece of bark. Keep in mind the shape of the vase that you're going to use. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I have a little short round one that I'm going to use. So let's see here. I'm going to grab some sticks and some leaves, and I'll meet you back at the house. So I'm back from my walk, gathering up nature's cast-offs. And I've got some sticks and some leaves. There. And then I also have, let's see here, I've got some redwood cones from redwood trees because I'm in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and so we've got a lot of those. And then from my yard, I have some bay leaves and redwood branches, because I have redwood trees right in my yard. And then I found these awesome pods. Look at these. Aren't these awesome? These were in my yard as well. From, I think it's a form of a daylily, I think. And then I have some gorgeous roses. Now these, of course, are from the market. My husband got these for me, and I have a huge bouquet. And instead of just leaving them in one big bouquet, I'm going to grab a couple from there and show you how you can take just a couple roses and make something beautiful. So I chose this great vintage ceramic vase that that I thought would be great for a small fall arrangement. My father actually made this back in, I want to say the 60s or the 70s. I'm not sure. It's not dated. But my dad was a high school teacher for many years, and he taught arts and crafts and ceramics, obviously, and metal shop and drafting and all kinds of things. So what we're going to start with first, when you're doing an arrangement, you want to put the greenery in first. And since this is a small, stubby little vase, we're going to do sort of a small, stubby arrangement in here, primarily. So I'm going to fill it first with greenery. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut redwood branches, nice and short, to be the first layer in my vase. And you can, like I said, use any kind of green shrubbery that you have in your yard, and don't be afraid of the cuts. You know, you can always come back later and make them shorter, make them, I start at one length, and then you can always, like I said, move them around. Any kind of greenery that you have will work. I have a lemon tree here. I've used the lemon branches from my lemon tree before. Just be careful with those because they have some thorns. I'm using my redwood because it's sprouting like crazy, and so it needs to be cut back anyhow. So it's a good way to use trimmings from your hedges. If you're trimming your hedges anyhow, you might as well use them to make flower arrangements. So I'm going to fill this up. And if you don't have any greenery, well then of course you can go down to the store and buy some. I like Trader Joe's. They have great prices on their flowers. So I'm just gonna fill in here as much as I can. You can kind of get pieces to kind of drape over the edge this way. Down over the sides so that they're not all sticking up. See how some of these are sort of turning down? Okay. And then let's go in now with some of these bay leaves. And so when you mix up your greenery, it adds another dimension. So remember I said in the fall I like to layer. I love layering. So it's the same thing when you're flower arranging. When you layer in texture and color, it adds another dimension of richness to your arrangement. So the more types of greenery you can add in gives another depth and dimension, another richness to your arrangement. So there's those bay leaves, and those bay leaves add in another great scent too, which is another layer, another dimension. And I'm just going to kind of brush off some of you can wash your greenery. This came straight out of the yard, so it's a little dusty, so I'm just going to dust some of these off here a little bit. Oh, it smells so good. The redwood leaves, I'm going to kind of break them up a little bit too. That's my ladies. That's Liza and Lulu. I'm sorry. Okay. It smells so good. So when you bring this inside, oh, it's going to be just luscious. So now, the next dimension that we are going to do here, let's see about these guys. These are those seed pods that we had, and they have these kind of not so pretty ends on them, so I'm just going to cut those off, and I'm hoping that'll also help highlight those gorgeous red berries that are inside. So we're going to let those kind of pop out here. These are going to give some height, a little bit of height to the arrangement, but we don't want too much because I want to keep this sort of low. So I'm going to trim the ends here. And I remember there's already some red. And in flower arranging and any kind of design and style, odd numbers are always great. They make your eye bounce around. Even numbers kind of are a little bit jarring to the eye sometimes. Odd numbers. So we have an odd number of 3 here. Do you see how quickly this is coming together? Now I've got my redwood cones, and I picked ones that are still on the stem so that they're easier to insert, into my arrangement. So we're going to just pop these in here like this, nice and low. And these add texture. So I'm going to keep sticking these all in, all around. Oh, that one broke off, but that's okay. Remember, flower arranging is very, very forgiving. If something breaks, just move it around. And then you want to keep turning your arrangement to make sure that you're getting all sides. Unless this is an arrangement that's going to be, say, on your entryway that's only going to be seen from front. This particular one's going to be on my breakfast table, and so it's going to be seen from all sides, so I'm going to make sure that I'm covering all sides. So we want to keep rotating it, and kind of pick up leaves and insert cones. Look at all of that wonderful fall winter richness that's going in there. And I love the bright color on those pods that I found today. Okay, here we go. So we've got all of that lusciousness. At this point, I think what I want to do is bring in some of these roses. And like I said, we don't need too many because look how amazing this looks on its own already. I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, you could leave it like this and it would be just wonderful and natural and earthy and fantastic. But to really add in some kapow, I'm going to now bring in some of these roses. So when you're using fresh flowers, here's some things. Roses are great because they will last a long time. They have a long shelf life. I have already stripped off the leaves on these roses, and you want to strip off the leaves. That'll help them last longer because then the leaves aren't taking up water life from your flowers. And then you're also going to want to cut the ends off the roses. Now, long stems are great. You know, they make it sounds luxurious to have a long stem rose, but trimming the ends will also help them last longer. So when you get them from the store, the ends can be dried out here on the end. They can get dried out, and so stems are like the if you don't remember your botany, the stem of a flower is a lot like our own. They have arteries and veins like us, which carry the water and nutrients up to the flowers. And so the ends of those capillaries, arteries, veins, can get sealed off and won't be able to suck up the water if we don't give it a clean cut here. So, and of course, when we're doing an arrangement like this, the stem is obviously way too long. So I'm going to give it a clean cut, And if you do it at an angle, you will give it much more surface area to suck up the water. When we're doing this, I'm going to start conservatively, and we can say, oh no, that's still too long, because I want to tuck those flowers in nice and low. Okay, so we're going to give it another nice clean cut, and then let's see if we can get this rose tucked in here nice and tight like that. Okay, and then we'll maybe pull in. Now I have a yellow one here, and we're going to strip off these leaves and give another nice clean angular cut to allow all the water to absorb. And we'll maybe put this little rose right in here. I say, oh no, that one's still too long for my taste, so I want to get that in tucked in even tighter. So we're going to pull it back out carefully. And I don't have any floral foam in here. I don't have a frog in here. Frogs, you know what a frog is. It's has little spikes on it to help hold your arrangement. But I have so much tucked in here that it doesn't need anything to hold all of the flowers in place. Okay, there we go. Now that flower's tucked in nice and neat. And I think I want that red one in a little bit tighter. And then I think I want, well, one more. Remember I said I like to do clusters of 3 or odd numbers, 3 or 5. And what color should we do? Do we do another red or a yellow? I think I'm going to do another yellow, maybe a little bit bigger one. And I don't mind leaving some greenery at the top of the rose stem, but when they have a lot of leaves down at the bottom, they can start rotting in the water, and that's not good for the roses either. Okay, so the little couple leaves at the top are fine. So let's tuck this one right down in there. Oh, still not long, too long again. So we want to see. So mistakes are fine. That's not really a mistake. It's just working as you go with your arrangement. Okay, here we go. We'll tuck that in. Okay, so now we've got our roses in there. If you remember, I also collected some sticks here. Let's see what we can do with giving some another real organic element here with a stick. Got this one. Oh, that looks amazing. Look at that now. That adds a whole nother dimension. Got that one. Oh, now we are really working our winter fall theme. And you'll see I'm struggling, but you just have to keep working in. We've got so much going in the space now. Okay, to get everything and sit and nestled in here. Now I'm going to want to turn this around to see it from all angles. And they're kind of fighting with each other at the moment, so I'm going to kind of keep playing until I like where they sit. Okay, awesome. Woo! Let's move these other roses out of the way. Now, there's a lot of elements happening here, but I still like where we're at. Now, do you remember we also have these leaves? So I'm going to just gently place them here now, because this is going to be the final element that really says this is a fall arrangement. And I'm just going to very gently place them. You could hot glue them if you wanted to, especially if you were going to be transporting this arrangement. I would suggest maybe hot gluing them to the branches, Again, keeping everything low. The sticks make this arrangement much taller, but you want to keep the weight of this low. Do you understand? The weight of it is the center of gravity, I would say, very low to the bottom of the vase. And if you see, the leaves that I'm adding in are yellow, which carries up the yellow from this vase into the top of the arrangement. And I'm just placing them gently. So as I keep turning, I decided that I need another red rose on this back side because the way I'm going to turn it for you to see, you can't see the red from this side of the arrangement. So I'm going to see if there's a small red rose over here that I can place. So I'm going to cut this one really short, and I'm going to place this red rose, and I move this leaf here. Place this red rose nice and low right there. Okay. Place this leaf here. Okay, so with a little fiddling, so with a little bit of fiddling, my gorgeous fall arrangement is done. Look how gorgeous this is. It allowed us to take a walk on a beautiful fall day, take some of nature's cast-offs and bring them into our home. It smells, oh, it smells so good. It smells so good. We put the weight of our arrangement here at the bottom because of the weight of the vase here, but we made it tall and light and airy at the top with these beautiful branches that I just picked up off the road, and then have these awesome leaves, cast off leaves from the road as well, with some greenery from my yard. I don't know how much more simple and beautiful this could be. I really hope that you try to do the same. I'd love to see pictures and hear what you have to say about your own attempts at making something so simple and so beautiful. Did you fall in love with fall? I hope you fell in love with fall with me. Sitting here at our breakfast nook, I'm sitting here still enjoying this arrangement 2 weeks later. It's morphed a little bit as everything has started to dry out, even though most of the greenery is still good. The flowers have dried, but now they're just perfect little dried roses instead of fresh ones, and it's still a stunning arrangement. That's something to fall in love with. Don't you agree? So join me again next time on our next adventure as we explore life and style. I'm Delisle. Join me next time. Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.